Yo, what's going on, Junebug? Man, I don't even know where to begin with Michael Jackson. I don't want to say I'm the biggest Michael Jackson fan, because anybody who knows Michael Jackson's work is also his biggest fan, because it's hard not to like it. When you can have anywhere from 6 to 7 CDs of your favorite Michael Jackson hits, what does that say? Including the Jackson 5. Nobody even goes back to the the Jackson 5 Michael, right? They were pumping out classics even then. But most people aren't really exposed to that, because you kind of have to dig deep for those. I can't even express, how I feel. He was that big. People come and go, but it's almost as if you have a personal connection with him. That's what makes it scary. And for me, I really had to sit back and understand that it's almost symbolic in terms of the passing of an era where black people had heroes. In terms of my generation, the 80s babies, where you had an era where there was black people in the public spotlight that you could embrace, and your parents weren't mad at you, right? You can like Michael, you can like Eddie Murphy, you can like Bill Cosby, you can like Richard Pryor, and I know a lot of these guys even came before that period, don't get me wrong, but for me, from my point of view, those were my heroes. Even into the early 90s, right? There were figures that you could look up to. And Michael Jackson, and for me, Michael Jordan as well, were kind of at the top of that list. Where they can tell you, stay in school, and you would stay in school. Right? Don't do drugs, and you wouldn't do drugs, because you didn't want to disappoint them. And that's magic, man. For me, that's magic. And I look at that, and I look at where we are now, and we don't have people like that anymore. We don't have people that transcend what society wants them to be, that we can look up to. And the scary thing about it is that this just marks the beginning of an era where we're going to see a lot of those people, right? Those of us who are over, the age of 25 or so, we're going to start to see the people that we looked up to pass away, and we don't see their replacements. Who does this generation have, right? Where's the Michael Jacksons? Where's the Kadeem Hardisons? Where are the people that you felt were our black heroes? I know it's pop culture. I know a lot of it was entertainment, and I know all of them didn't necessarily have the best of messages, but you felt like they was on your side. You felt like that was us. As much as Michael Jackson, had his troubles in terms of his current history, throughout his whole career, he was us. It was like, yeah, take that, world. Look at how you feel, right? This is a black dude doing it. It is what it is. I love hearing the stories that my dad tells me about just how big he was in the 80s. Because I was still a bit too young. And he would tell me stories about how there's nobody that you guys know today that can compare to the pandemonium that boy created. And it's tough, because it really came out of nowhere. It is. And the more and more I think about it, it hits home. What does this new generation of black people have to hold on to, right? It's one thing when you shed tears when somebody that you really don't know passes away. And there's a lot of people that, of course, I don't know personally, but yo, I know I'm gonna shed a tear when they leave, and Michael Jackson is just one of them. And I question myself in terms of what this new generation has to look up to. Who are their heroes? Right? Who transcends, what white culture wants them to be? All these guys, the Michael Jacksons and all these other main figures that we knew, the beauty about them was that white people were in awe. They just wanted to be a part of it, right? They didn't control any strings. They just wanted to be a part of the magic. Let me do your thing. I just want to support. We live in a world now where there's a cap on a lot of our black musicians or athletes or actors or celebrities. There's this creative gap that's placed upon them where they don't feel like they're our own, where you can't hold on to them and say, yeah, that's Michael Jackson. You can't feel that way anymore. So, I don't know. I don't know how to feel. This is gonna, I'm pretty bummed about this one. I can't express it. I just hope with him passing, people will, all the newbies who really don't know what he was about, can really understand what he meant. Right? In my eyes, you can't even talk about black history, and I don't care what people say. You can't, not even just black musical history. You can't talk about black history without talking about Mike. Even if he doesn't have his own chapter, even if he's only like a portion in some chapter in some book, you can't talk about black history without talking about Michael Jackson, the Jackson family. You can't. So anyways, man, I hope the rest of y'all share what he meant to you guys. Really. And just remember, man, YouTube is a great source. Before I started making videos, I used to spend countless hours not studying, looking up old Michael Jackson moves, him doing Dancing Machine, him doing the moonwalk. I couldn't get enough of it. So anyways, y'all take it easy. God bless. This truly is a sad day for all of the world. Not just America, but the whole world. Take it easy.